anointed. Well, he's Satan's anointed.
He is Satan's anointed.
I wouldn't want to touch him. I want to go near him.
And what they do is they put demons inside of people, and that's what causes them to fall, or they use their little hypnosis techniques. And then he's already said he does. He can't heal people, but he can hypnotize them to where for that time that they're there, they don't feel any pain. They feel like they've had a miracle.
Until they get home, and then they realize they're not healed. Real quickly, what did you just say? Did you mention that about, was that the slain in the spirit when Benny Hinn can knock like 10 people down with the swing of his hand?
Oh, yeah, the hypnosis thing. And, everybody's seen it on Montel Williams or whatever talk shows. You get these hypnosis experts on there, and they show you how it works and how they can do it.
Right, but when we read the gospel, where did Jesus go around knocking people unconscious and walking away?
Being slain in the spirit, the way they do it, it's a demonic manifestation. It was never biblical. A biblical clove of fire was raised above your head. You weren't slain in the spirit falling backwards. That's always been a demonic practice. That was around a lot longer than Jesus walked the earth. That was around hundreds of years earlier. It's always been a part of the occult. It's been an occultic practice.
And when ancient magicians would do that, that's to instill fear in people.
Yeah. And
right? You can't touch Benny Hinn because he will knock you unconscious by waving his magic wand.
Here's one of them waving his wands, and what he does is he knocks preachers over. Paul Crouch and Kenneth Copeland, calls them up there so he can slay them in the spirit, these demons, and then he goes after the crowd.
Did he knock Copeland down?
Yeah, and what he does is he has his ushers say, stand them up, because he wants to knock them over again. And this one, you can hear the crowd scream, the choir screaming. This sounds like have you ever heard that tape, The Sounds from Hell, about those Russians who dug into earth?
I heard about that.
This sounds just like it. And this is a real choir in a church, and this is an actual Benny Hinn performance. Go ahead and play it, Steve.
Right, okay.
I can't tell if he's back, if it's still running.
You there, Sherry?
Yeah, I can't hear.
I thought baby Benny Hinn slayed you in the spirit.
No, I couldn't tell if it was over or not. But you know what? What does the Bible say? It warns us in Revelation 13 about false prophets that are coming. What's the false prophet going to do? He's going to call fire down from heaven.
Fire down from heaven and do all sorts of miracles. When Benny Hinn did that performance, that sounds like a demon. It sounds like something inhuman.
Yeah, he doesn't sound human at all. And what we're going to do is we'll pick this up when we come back. We're going to break right now, folks. And we'll be right back in about 1 to 2 minutes.
Need a break after hearing that.
Do you know where the 78 potentially active volcanoes in U.S. are located? And do you know the locations of the top 300 prime terrorist targets? You can find these answers and more in the new interactive CD book, Prudent Places USA. With the more than 50 interactive parameters, you can pinpoint natural and man-made disaster areas, brewing environmental catastrophes, the safest cities, the best places for solar and wind energy, and much, much more. Complete with 3 gigabytes of detailed information on each of 3,000 plus counties in the U.S., including 550 high-resolution full-color maps and full-color photographs, as well as detailed information and analysis to help you zero in on the best places to live, the ideal location for cabins and vacation homes, as well as safe and unsafe areas. Get Prudent Places USA for only $29 plus shipping by calling New Millennium at 888-803-4438. That's 888-803-4438 to order on the web or at berkeywater.com.
And now once again back to Sherry and Pastor Harry.
Yep.
And welcome back to the show, folks. Tonight we're talking about Benny Hinn and some of the beast prophets parading our stages and churches today. And one of the biggest warnings that the Lord is giving today is for the people themselves to get out of these churches and stop supporting them. And his warning isn't against the beast prophets, it's against the people sitting in the churches right now.
Well, that's exactly true, Sherry, because it's the people that are sending Benny Hinn $25 million a year.
Well, that's one fundraiser.
One fundraiser, right? And that's what God's trying. That's what God's tries to show people, that God gave us free will, and people are using their free will to be deceived.
Yeah, and what he said in the beginning of the show, if you missed the word that he had given me on it, is that his people are making the rich richer instead of doing what he commands and feeding the hungry, clothing the poor, and visiting the widows and the fatherless. They're not doing what he commands. They're doing what sounds good. Give me theology. If I give the Lord $1, he's going to increase it tenfold. Or I have to pay my way into heaven, when heaven is free and his blessings are free. He doesn't charge a dime. He doesn't need your money.
That's exactly true, Sherry.
And so he's admonishing the people in the churches today to stop it. Get out of these, quit supporting these beasts, get out of these churches, and stop making them rich and do what he commands.
Well, it's greed, Sherry. What keeps a person going back to Copeland and Hinn, it's just pure greed. Instead of helping the poor and those in need, you're right, these people, they want to be wealthy so bad. They want the mansions. They want the gold. They will just keep following Copeland and Hinn, and they just keep praying harder. If I just claim it more, if I just don't doubt, I will get these things. And you're never going to get these things, people, because it doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't. And you know what? The thing about it is that they've done studies on exactly who their target bulk audience is. And the ones that they're making all of these millions of dollars from are from the people who are one paycheck away from being homeless. They're living check to check, and they just want, they hear this feel-good theology, and they want to get ahead. Get out of debt, get a little, get more material possessions. And so they send their last dime in because, they want to think that there's something true about what they're hearing. They want to think that they're going to become richer or become, more materialistic, get more possessions, get the Mercedes, get the big pie in the sky that these Satanists promised them.
So these people are being led by their noses by greed. It's all really greed.
Yeah, Satanism is alive and well in the churches in America today, folks. These men are not men of God. They are pawns of Satan. They are working his agenda. They are entrapping you. They are lying to you. They're taking your money, and they're enslaving your soul if you keep staying in there.
That's very true. Sherry, I just want to say something real quickly here. Today in the churches, we both know, and people can see it, that the churches have exchanged the truth of God for lies of Satan. And that's what's preached in churches today, from once saved, always saved, to name it, claim it. And what happens is when churches teach lies, God removes his healing power from these churches. So now today you have a bunch of dead churches with no power.
Yeah, well.
And then all of a sudden, the Benny Hinn circus rolls into town. And people go there and they feel something. They feel a presence. They feel some kind of spiritual power. And immediately they think it's God, and that plus the promise of wealth, that's what's bringing these people back over and over again, and the hold on them gets stronger and stronger. It is a stronghold. Yeah,
this is one of their biggest gimmicks, is that Benny Hinn was setting up the audience, and it was a fundraiser for TBN, and he set up the audience by telling Paul Crouch that he's going to give him $150,000. So the Lord will give him an anointing he needs for his ministry. So right now he's telling the people that, I've got to give you $150,000, so the Lord will give me what I need for my ministry.
So you can buy an anointing from Benny Hinn.
Yeah, or what he's making it look like is that you have to pay God to get something that the Lord will give freely to his children. But the thing is, Benny Hinn ain't his child, and you know what? He's not going to get anything from the Lord. But he's setting up the audience because he's hoodwinking them into thinking if they want something from the Lord, then they have to give TBN money.
And give them more money.
Yeah, go ahead and play that clip, Steve.
And Paul, while you were speaking, the Lord spoke to me, and I have to obey him. He said, tell Paul, thank you, Lord, for this. I've been praying about something I've asked the Lord for when it comes to the anointing. And the Lord said, you tell Paul that in the